So can I request to sing Jai Mataji to sing Kirtan, and Lalita Mataji would follow, and then Mangalachan prayers by Gaurangi Mataji, and then Gayatri Mataji would lead Chaitanya Charitamrita prayers. Is that okay, Jai Mataji? If you're happy to lead Kirtan?
Yes, Prabhuji, but I'm very bad. What do you want me to sing? I'm so bad.
That's all right, Mataji.
Do you want to suggest something? Or?
Just simply Jai Radha Madhava and Hare Krishna Mahamantra is fine, Mataji.
Okay.
So Lalita Mataji can catch easily.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari
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 Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Jamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Jamuna Tiravanachari
Yamuna Tiravanachari
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Krishna Arpan Mastu.
Thank you, Mataji. So very nice, so beautifully sung. Okay, so think we just follow in the tune when we are so whatever the leader sings, whatever the tune, we sing along to that one, go in the same, but then it will come so nice, so beautiful. Okay, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji.
I
Okay.
think she was following, Mataji was following the wrong lead today. So maybe next time we stick to Gayatri, Mataji.
It's all right, Mataji. Very nice. So it needs practice as well. Even I used to struggle to cope up with the leader, but it comes with the practice. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, we shall move to the Mangalachan pace. Gauringi Mataji would lead, we all follow behind, line by line. Hare Krishna, Gauringi
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Okay.
please lead us line by line, Mataji. We all follow behind you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Hare Krishna. Om अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले
स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्।
स्वयं रूपः कदा
मह्यं ददाति
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्।
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश।
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च।
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं तं सजीवम्।
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं रघुनाथान्वितं जीवितम्
साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम्।
सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम्।
श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदन सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखाविष्टांश।
श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदन
सहगणललिता
ललिता श्री वैष्णव।
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते।
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते।
गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते।
गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते।
तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी।
तप्त कांचन गौरी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी।
वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्तवृंद।
जय श्री कृष्ण
चैतन्य प्रभु
नित्यानंद
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत
गदाधर
गदाधर
श्रीवासादि
श्रीवासादि
गौरभक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु
हरे
जी।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Also, would
हरे
you
कृष्ण
like
गौरांगी।
also Prabhupada Pranati Mataji, please?
Who प्रभु जी? Me?
Yes, Prabhupada Pranati as well.
Okay. Mhm.
Namo Vishnupada.
Okay. 1 minute, Prabhuji. I can take my glass. Otherwise, I cannot see. Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Naiti Namine.
Namo
Namo Om
विष्णुरूपाय
Vishnupadaya
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने
Swaminiti
नामिने
Namine.
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
नमस्ते
Namaste
सरस्वती
Saraswati
देवे
Deve Gauravani Pracharine
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य
Paschatya
देशतारिणे
जय श्री प्रभु जी और
Yes, that's all, Mataji.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी आई फॉरगॉट टू दिस
नमस्ते सरस्वती
No worries,
देवी
Mataji, but you did very nicely. Thank you so much. We shall move to the next Chaitanya Charitamrita prayers. Gayatri Mataji will lead line by line, and then we all follow line by line. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita prayers. Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan
वंदे
Guru
गुरु
Nisha
भक्तान
Bhaktan
भक्तान्
Isham Ishavatarakan
ईशा ईशावतारकन
ईशावतारकान्
Tat Prakashamscha Tat Shaktihi
तत्प्रकाशम
तत्प्रकाशं च शक्तिः
Krishna Chaitanya Samnyakam
कृष्ण चैतन्य
कृष्णचैतन्य
सम्यकम्
सम्यकम्
Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Vande
वन्दे
Sri Krishna
कृष्ण चैतन्य
श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य
Chaitanya
Nityanandau Sahoditau
नित्यानंदौ
नित्यानन्दौ
सहोदितो
सहोदितौ
Gaudodaye Pushpavantau
गौड़ोदय
पुष्पवन्तौ
पुष्पवन्तौ
Titrau Sandau Tamonudau
चित्रौ सन्दौ
समुदौ
तमोदौ
मुदौ
Yadadvaitam Brahmopanishadi Tadapyasya Tanubha
Yadadvaitam
यदद्वैतं
Brahmopanishadi
ब्रह्मोपनिषदि
Tadapyasya
तदप्यस्य
Tanubha
तनुभवात्
Ya Atmantar Yami Purusha iti so asyam sya vibhavaha. Sorry, Prabhupada.
Yasmantaryami Iti Suasyam Shabibhavaha
स्वयं न प्रभुजी अद्वि स्वयं right प्रभुजी स्वयं विभवः
Asyam Shabibhavaha
अस्यां च विभव sorry प्रभुजी अस्यां च
Shadaishwaryai purno ya iha bhagavan sa swayam ayam.
Aishwaryaihi Purno Eha
ऐश्वर्यपूर्णो
Bhagavan Tasvayam
यैति
Ayam
भगवान् स्वयम् अयम्
Na chaitanyat krishnat jagati paratatvam param iha.
न चैतन्यात् कृष्ण
जगति
Paratam Paramiha
परम् इहा
Anarpita charim chirat karunayavartinaha kalau.
अनार्पितचरिं
चिरात्
चिरात् करुणाया
Samarpayitum unnatojjvala rasam swabhakti sriyam.
समरप्रियं स्वयमुन्नतोज्ज्वलं रसं स्वयभक्तिश्रियम्
Haripurata sundaradhyuti kadamba sandipitaha.
हरिपुरत सुन्दरद्युतिकदम्बसंदीपितः
Sada hridaya kandare spurhatau vasachi nandanaha.
सदा हृदय कन्दरे स्पृहतौ सच्चिनन्दनः
Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Shaktir Asmad.
श्री राधा कृष्ण प्रणय विखेर
एकात्मानौ अपि भुवि पुरा देहभेदं गतौ तौ
एकत्मनौ अपि भुवि
पुरा देहभेदं गतौ
पूर्वदेहभेदं गतौ तौ
चैतन्याख्यं प्रकटम् अधुना तद्वयं चैक्यम् आप्तम्
चैतन्याख्यं प्रकटम् अधुना
तद्वयं
तदध्यायम्
चैक्यम्
चैकम् अपतम्
राधाभावद्युतिः सुवलितं नौमि कृष्णस्वरूपम्
राधाभावाद्युतिसुविलितं नौमि कृष्णस्वरूपम्
श्रीराधाय प्रणयमहिमा कीदृशो वानयैव
श्रीराधाय प्रणयाय महिमा कीदृशोऽपि वनवायया
स्वाध्यो येनाद्भुतमधुरिमा कीदृशो वा मदीयः
स्वाध्यो येन
मधुरिमा
मदीयः
मदीयः
सौख्यं चास्य मदनुभवातः कीदृशं वेत्ति लोभात्
सौख्यं
मद अनुभवतः
अनुभवात्
कीदृशं वेत्ति
वेत्ति लोहभावात्
तद्भावाद्या समजनि सचिगर्भसिन्धौ हरिन्दुः
गर्भः सिन्धौ हरिन्दु
पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं
पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं
भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकम्
भक्तरूपस्वरूपकम्
भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं
भक्ताख्यं
नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्
भक्तशक्तिकम्
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानन्द
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानन्द
जय द्वैत चन्द्र जय गौरभक्तवृन्द
जय अद्वैत चन्द्र जय गौरभक्तवृन्द
नमो महावदान्याय
नमो महावदान्याय
कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते
कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते
कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य
कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य
नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः
नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः
कृष्णवर्णं त्विषा कृष्णं
कृष्णवर्णं
कृष्णं
कृष्णं
साङ्गोपाङ्गास्त्रपार्षदम्
साङ्गोपांशस्त्रसदम्
यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्
यज्ञे सङ्कीर्तनाप्रायैर्
यजन्ति हि सुमेधशः
यजन्ति हि सुमेधसः
सुवर्णवर्णो हेमाङ्गो
सुवर्णवर्णो हेमाङ्गो
पराङ्गश्चन्दनाङ्गदी
वराङ्गश्चन्दनाङ्गदी
सन्न्यासकृच्छमशान्तो
सन्न्यासकृत्स्नसंतो
निष्ठा शान्तिपरायणः
निष्ठाशान्तिपरायणः
मूकं करोति वाचालं
मूकं करोति वाचालम्
पङ्गुं लङ्गायते गिरिं
पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिम्
यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे
यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे
परमानन्दमाधवम्
परमानन्दमाधवम्
श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्
श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्
श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्
श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं
गुरुं
श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्
श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं
श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्
श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यमीश्वरम्
श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यमीश्वरम्
Very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Sorry for all the
Thank you,
mistakes.
Mataji. No mistakes, Mataji. You did very nice. Thank you so much. You got devotees join. Hare Krishna Usha Mataji and Baba Jaipur Mataji. And also from Prabhuji. This is exactly very beautiful. Thank you for joining. Okay, so with that, Hare
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Radha Sekar Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Have you got your laptop, Mataji?
Sorry?
Have you got your laptop to share, Mataji?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm on my phone. Sorry.
You are at home, Mataji?
Yeah, I'm just yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I can put my laptop on.
Yes, sure, Mataji. Okay, just to recap, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we have been discussing the chapter number 14 of teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is the ecstasy of the Lord and his devotees, where we
Yeah.
have seen the qualities of Krishna to be discussed, and then, but we came in deep so that we are entering into those pastimes of the different qualities. They are
Okay.
part of the nectar of devotion.
Yeah.
We have been discussing those qualities for last few weeks, and then we are now in the 59th quality. So yesterday, last week, 58th qualities. This is the one discussed. Just to recap, what are the qualities we have discussed in the last few weeks? Krishna is heroic, Krishna is compassionate, Krishna is respectful and gentle, liberal, shy, and protector of surrendered souls, happy, and well-wisher of his devotees, controlled by love, and all auspicious, most powerful, all famous, popular, partial to devotees, very attractive to all women, all worshipable, all opulent, all honorable, the supreme controller, changeless, and all cognizant, and ever fresh, Sachidananda Vigraha, and possessing all mystic perfections, Krishna's inconceivable potencies, and then Krishna's body generates innumerable universes, and then Krishna, original source of all incarnations. So until this point, we have discussed it until last week. So today we are going to enter into Krishna gives salvation to the enemies that he kills. Okay, today we are going to. So Mataji, would you like to drive the session, Mataji?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So Hare Krishna, everyone. So the 59th quality of Krishna. Krishna gives salvation to the enemies that he kills. Another name for salvation is Aparvaga. Aparvaga is the opposite of Bharvaga, or the various miserable conditions of material existence. The word Bharvaga indicates the combination of the 5 Sanskrit letters Ba, Fa, Ba, Bha, and Ma. These letters are the first letters of the words for 5 different conditions as described below. The first letter, Ba, comes from the word Parabhaha, which means defeat. In this material struggle for existence, we are simply meeting defeat. Actually, we have to conquer birth, death, disease, and old age. And because there is no possibility of overcoming all these miserable conditions due to the illusion of Maya, we are simply meeting with Parabha, or defeat. The next letter, Fa, is taken from the word Fena. Fena is the foam which is found on the mouth when one is very tired. Fina, I think it is, as commonly observed with horses. The letter Ba comes from the word Bandha or bondage. Ba is taken from the word Britti or fearfulness. Ma is taken from the word Britti or death. So the word Pavarga signifies our struggle for existence and our meeting with defeat, exhaustion, bondage, fearfulness, and at last death. Aparvaga means that which can nullify all of these material conditions. Krishna is said to be the giver of Aparvaga, the path of liberation. For the impersonalists, the enemies of Krishna, liberation means merging into the Supreme. The demons and the impersonalists do not care for Krishna, but Krishna is so kind that he gives this liberation even to his enemies and to the impersonalists. There is the following statement in this connection: O Murari, Krishna, how wonderful is it that although the demons, who are always envious of the demigods, have failed to penetrate your military phalanx, they have penetrated the region of Mitra, the sun globe. The word Mitra is used metaphorically. Mitra means the sun globe, and Mitra also means friend. The demons who opposed Krishna as enemies wanted to penetrate his military phalanx, but instead of doing this, they died in battle. And the result was that they penetrated the planet of Mitra, or the sun planet. In other words, they entered into the Brahman effulgence. The example of the sun planet is given here because the sun is ever illuminating, like the spiritual sky, where there are innumerable illuminating Vaikuntha planets. The enemies of Krishna were killed, and instead of penetrating Krishna's phalanx, they entered into the friendly atmosphere of the spiritual effulgence. This is the mercy of Krishna, and therefore he is known as the deliverer of his enemies also. Okay, so probably if we could go down. Okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so this is another amazing quality of the Lord. So clearly, Krishna is God, and he is kind to everybody. And here we're talking about how kind he is even to his enemies. So when Lord Krishna comes down, usually it's to defeat the demoniac. So we see in so many of his avatars that he will kill the demons. So as Lord Ram, he killed Ravan and his army. As Krishna, he killed Kamsa, Jarasandha, his armies. Then there was the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where so many adharmic kings were killed. When he came as Lord Nrsimha, he killed Hiranyakashipu. When he came as Parshuram, he killed the 23 generations of Kshatriya kings who were causing havoc on earth. So whichever avatar he comes in, he generally does kill the miscreants. Apart from when he came down as Lord Chaitanya, and therefore being such a merciful incarnation, he only spread the joy of chanting the holy name to attain him. So he gives salvation even to these enemies. The Lord is like, wherever there's darkness, if you have light, the darkness cannot exist. So as he's fighting these demons, the effulgence, that, you know, all these demons, they try to they try to fight the Lord, but the phalanx, they can't enter into Krishna, they can't enter into they can't get to Krishna because they're not devotees, and therefore they achieve liberation in his in the Brahman. So he also gives salvation to these souls. So in a way, like, if even bad things, if they merge with good things, then something good comes from that. There is nothing inauspicious about the Lord, so everything in connection to the Lord is auspicious. But in Nectar of Devotion, we're also told that we mustn't think of the Lord in an unfavorable way. We must think of him in a favorable way, pravritti, in a favorable way. For devotees, we should never like, someone can't say that, oh, it's easier to meet Lord as an enemy and to think of Lord. So Kamsa, he couldn't stop thinking about the Lord, but that thinking of the Lord is different to when the gopis are absorbed in the thinking of the Lord. It's just, one is in a negative way, in a way which is, you know, unfavorable, and one is with love. So and as a devotee, that's the path we need to follow. But he does give salvation to those that he kills. So even we hear in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is time, and here we kind of understand this concept of time. So when he's giving salvation also, and obviously these different letters are spoken about, and the word defeat, Parabhava, so defeat. In this material in struggle for existence, we are simply meeting defeat. So we may think, you know, we're living and we're enjoying, and, you know, everything's going okay, but actually each and every time is going, and, you know, time is Krishna. So if we follow as a devotee, then our destination, our point of death, it's like when there's that image that's sometimes shown, that that if it's a mouse, the cat has the mouse trapped in its mouth, and it basically kills it. And so death for those people that are not devotees is normally like that. It's very painful. The destination is unknown. Whereas for a devotee, it's like literally we are held by Lord in a different way, in a more nurturing way. You know, like a cat would hold its kitten. They sometimes you see that picture. But material energy, you know, material struggle, it's there, and we simply have to, like it says, we're meeting defeat. And the only way to conquer this birth, death, disease, old age, birth, death, disease, and old age is if we try to make it back to the spiritual world. And for that, there's a process that we undertake as devotees, and through lifetimes we're trying to perfect this, and therefore we have to, through taking shelter of the Lord, we try to overcome these material conditions that arise because of Maya, and we just carry on surrendering to him, and we continue to walk on this path of devotion. So once we're on this path, and I think most of us here are like quite fairly strongly on it, or at least we're trying to be strongly on it. So we must remain on that path. Like, it's a path that we can't come off. Like, once you're on it, like, you have to keep going. There's kind of no return from once you start taking a few steps towards Krishna is taking more steps towards us, because we're on this right path, and because there's a level of consistency, it just through the process of sadhana bhakti, it's like just remaining on the escalator. We just remain on there, and then hopefully one day we'll find ourselves back in the spiritual world, because there is no, in this place of illusion, like we can say, okay, things are, even as a devotee, we can say it's quite pleasant. Even in the mode of goodness, we can get attached to it. Things are comfortable. We make ourselves, we give ourselves a comfortable situation. Usually devotees have what they need, or they're working towards whatever it is that they do need to have a comfortable life. But at the same time, the birth, death, old age, disease is still there. Like, that's the bit we have to cross, and we've been taking lifetimes after lifetimes. We don't know how many bodies we've been in, and to have a human birth is very, like, it's such a perfect opportunity to use. And the fact that we even have access to this knowledge, even whether we have it from our families, or from Srila Prabhupada, or however, like from the Sanatan teachings, or however we have this knowledge, it's something that we have. And to make use of a life like this, it's so important that we focus this life on Krishna, because we don't know what our next life is going to be, and not get so entangled in the illusion of Maya. And then this continues with this fina, this foam, which is found on the horse that's very tired. Now, that is what our condition is. We're actually very, very tired. We're struggling in this material world. But again, when it's like covered with a bit of goodness, or with any, it's just some sort of pleasantries, we still forget that death is there. It's inevitable. Death of the body is there anyway, and the soul is eternal, and therefore we should focus on, at least in this life, like, we need food to keep our bodies nourished, and we need something intelligent. Our intelligence needs something, our mind needs something. In the same way, the thing that is eternal, our atma, it needs Paramatma. It cannot survive, and therefore it's about us continuously nourishing the soul, and to fill all those, I don't know, the holes in, I don't know if that's the right word to use, the holes in our soul where the darkness exists, or where where we haven't acted piously, or where something within our soul that, like, we, if we injured ourselves, we would try and fix the body, we'd try and heal the body. In the same way, our soul can only be healed and complete when it is in connection to the Lord. It is eternal, and therefore it needs that source. It cannot survive without the source, and therefore we should focus on the Jivatma has the ability, its marginal potency. It has the ability to go between the spiritual energy and between the material energy. And the more we are in contact with the spiritual energy, the more we are nourished, and the more we're literally touching that fire part, like when we're chanting, when we're reading, when we're discussing the Lord, when we're in connection with anything that, any processes of the Navda Bhakti, or when we're worshipping the Lord, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, whenever we're following any processes of the 9 of Navda Bhakti, we are in connection with the Lord. When we're, smarana, when we're thinking of the Lord, and all these things we can increase bit by bit by bit. So, like, I think it's Maharaj Ambrisha. He's somebody that's perfected so many of these. So there's different personalities that have perfected, like Shravanam, Kirtanam. So whether we think of Maharaj Parikshit, who sat there and listened to the Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days, 7 nights, or whether we think of Kirtanam, Prahlad Maharaj, whether we think of Smaranam, whether we think of Padasevanam, Lakshmi Devi, Sakyam, Arjuna, Dasyam, Hanumanji, who all these big personalities who have perfected a form of the Navda Bhakti, but then there's Maharaj Ambrisha who's kind of perfected all of them. So in this way, we should follow in their footsteps and continuously walk this path of bhakti, whether it's in asadhana, and eventually there'll be a time when there won't be a separation between us and the Lord in that respect. There will be a separation, but it's that we are his and he is ours, and it's in a positive, favorable relationship. And therefore, we don't really have to worry about all this fearfulness. So even this word, it says britti, or fearfulness, and that britti and this mritti, death, can be taken away. Like if we know that for a devotee, death is nothing, because we know that we're going, the Lord is there. It's just nothing. I remember being in Vrindavan one time, and everybody was chanting, and I think I was probably, I wouldn't say I was fearful, but maybe very defensive, especially here, like when we used to hear things like, oh, terrorism or this, that, and we used to feel not, I won't say scared, but eventually, like, you would kind of adapt, I suppose, in the environment you're in. But in certain places, when you're actually in bhakti and when you're chanting, or I remember being in Vrindavan, like I said, someone said, oh, there was some talk of something happening, and I just remember that nobody panicked, nobody, it was just like, and I was just watching and I was thinking, oh my God, this is so different to how other people would behave in other conditions. It would cause kind of chaos and lots of struggle, but there everybody they just continued to chant. I watched it during COVID in Vrindavan also, like when the whole world was kind of on its knees. Vrindavan, there was no fear there. There was no, the people, like when I used to speak, they're like, oh, it's fine. If we go here. There's absolutely no worry. There's no, there's absolutely no fear, because the consciousness of that person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is different, and therefore we have to come to this state of fearlessness, where we don't have any fear, because even if all negative emotions start from fear, like anger, jealousy, envy, all these things, they all start from fear. Whereas when we do love, when there's love, when there's bhakti, then all the good qualities start from those good qualities, and therefore we remain in that state. So when we're in those positive qualities, then those other ones, they don't disrupt us, and then we have to maintain ourselves in that level. So even as we go about our devotional life, the more we stay in that Krishna consciousness, in that stage of happiness, because that ultimately is what Krishna consciousness does. It brings us to a state where inside we are peaceful, we are happy, and whatever's going on around us is just continuing, but our internal state is that it is generally Krishna conscious, and it's happy, and whatever's happening is just happening. We're quite detached from it, and therefore, we have to achieve this state of fearlessness, and that's by being in Krishna consciousness. So when we're Krishna conscious, just to mention something from even another religion, like I remember like someone saying that when Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who was like a Sikh guru, when he was being like like when some fighters had come to harm him, or he was on his, I think when he was about something was going to negative some, he was at death's point basically. He said, at that point he said, no, these people are just my Lord. He saw the Lord in even those people. Even at death he saw Lord. So these are high states of consciousness, and a person absorbed in Krishna consciousness will see everything as Krishna. So however, and they're very, very they're fearless, because there is nothing apart from Krishna. And that's just like an everyday person. But what about these people that Lord is actually killing, his enemies? They try to have enmity with the Lord, but Lord's effulgence is so beautiful, and it's like they try to enter into that. They try to enter into that. There's nothing negative about Krishna. There's nothing that's it's all, even his spiritual effulgence is still light. If we think about, if we say that he's the sun, the rays are equally as beautiful, equally as in quality equal as him, but in quantity not. But they just choose that path. So they say that even all the soldiers that died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whichever side they were, they achieved liberation. So obviously everybody wanted to fight in that battle as well, because they know that it's the gateways of heaven are open for them, because of Krishna's mercy. So there's nothing inauspicious happens as a result, because Krishna. So even if these enemies, they're trying to do something wrong to Krishna, everything turns out auspicious even for them, because of Krishna's greatness. So it's not so much about it's about glorifying Krishna, that whatever comes into contact with him, good, bad, ugly, whatever, it all has a positive consequence, because he delivers his enemies also. But at the same time, we should never think that we want to have any enmity with the Lord. We should always, in Nectar of Devotion, it says that we should always follow in a favorable disposition, and through devotional service, we should try and perfect our life, as this is the way forward for us. Prabhu, can you just go up a little bit? Oh yeah, and then also this impersonalist. So an impersonalist, the way I understand it, they don't, like it says here, they do not care for Krishna. So impersonalist means that they don't think of Krishna, that like a personalist will believe Krishna has a form, and they want to have a relationship with that form, whereas an impersonalist believes that their Lord has no form, and they think, I think it's Mayavadis more, they think that they can become the Lord, which that clearly can't happen. Like as a devotee, we always want to be in a position where there's the Lord and there's us, and that we are serving the Lord with love and devotion. There's always two, because even Lord, he when he expands into like say Lord Balram or Radharani, or because he wants to have relationship. He has that, if that's his nature, to want to have relations. So if he if he needs relations, then clearly we need relations because we're part and parcel of him. So we can't think of him in a way which is like impersonal, or that we, when we hear this, people think that they are Lord. Clearly, once, there is a stage when somebody receives power, but it's not that we want to become Lord, or because that's like spiritual suicide. Then there is, it's like merging, I suppose that's the right word to use, but we want to just know that we're there, we want to serve the Lord, and that the Lord and us, although we are part and parcel of him, our position is always to be subordinate to him. And because he's so kind, sometimes he will make someone more, like when he has his parents, he wants them to care for him. When he has like his, certain relationships, even for Arjuna, he will become his charioteer. So he takes that position of as a subordinate in those situations. But we should always know that there is no one more, there is no other controller apart from Krishna, and therefore we should want to serve him, and we shouldn't want to become one with him. So the last pang of Maya is to make us believe that we are Krishna. So that's the final part of, like as we're growing, and if we're growing spiritually in the wrong way, the last test would be that we think we are Krishna, or we want to be Krishna, or and that's what we have to kind of like move away from. So like in Krishna book, like we hear about Bondrik, he thinks that he's Krishna, and he has this, like he has similar features to Krishna. He wants to act like Krishna, behave like Krishna, think that he is Krishna, but eventually Krishna will kill him. But that is that's something we have to be very careful of, because that when we get tested by Maya, that's the last test of Maya, to make us believe and to make us think that, oh, we're all powerful and we are Krishna. So we have to be very careful with that. Even though we're part and parcel of him, and we have the same qualities as him, we're not in quantity. We are very, very different. And we should, therefore, it's very important that we don't. So like, I know I was teaching the children, and we were talking about free will recently, and so one of the children asked, so why did Krishna create the demons, and why did he create the good, the Devi Devtas, etc., or the good people? And then we were saying that no one is born anything. It's our free will and our action that determines these things. So therefore, it's really important that we follow and we cultivate good qualities within us that are spoken about in, say, Bhagavad Gita, the divine qualities, and that we really cultivate them and we work on them, and we develop those qualities, where this honesty, or forgiveness, or valor, or whatever these good qualities are, we work on those qualities, because those are the qualities that help us, help our character. So we say that, once the soul goes, what goes with us? So the character will go with us, the bhakti will go, and it's really important that we can, like, we carry the samskaras will go with us. So we should cultivate good, and that's part of Krishna consciousness as well, because Krishna says those, that person that does not put anyone else into any anxiety, or that is very dear to me, when we read chapter 12. So these are qualities that we want to, and they keep us away from demoniac qualities. And obviously we read in chapter, I think it's 15, what are these demoniac qualities, and we should really stay away from them. And ultimately, it is free will. Hiranyakashipu had free will, Kamsa had free will, Lord Ram even said, like, even if Ravan came back to me, I would take him back. You know, like Lord is always giving opportunities for us to change, for us to, do the right thing. He's always giving us opportunities, but do we take them? So like we hear that the demon and the divine live both within us. So in Kali Yuga, it's, whichever one we can go between the two, and it's the one that we like, the one we feed the most. So if we focus on bhakti, focus on doing the right things, then the good qualities naturally come, and the negative qualities dissipate. And we have to keep cultivating those divine qualities, because we can make ourselves a demon, we can make ourselves a divine being. And the Lord is so kind that he gives us free will, and we can choose to act in the way which is divine, and which will please him, as opposed to a demoniac nature. So demons who are always envious of the demigods. So again, why are they always envious of the demigods? So the thing is, we see even even if we think about Indra and we think of some of his behavior, we think, but the bottom line with Indra is that he still surrendered to Krishna, and he knows Krishna as the supreme, whereas a demon will just, this whole impersonalism or Mayavadism, that they will just think they are, or they want something superior. They want, like, say for example, immortality, like Hiranyakashipu, or they want to live forever. They want to control everybody. They want to more or less cause havoc, and if things are not, they want this label of the Lord, which is that's the downfall for a demon. Whereas even Indra, who does so many things, like we see him doing really silly things sometimes, but he still, when the Lord, he accepts the Lord as the supreme, and that's probably the main difference between a demigod and a demon. A demon will always want to be God, whereas a demigod will surrender, know that the supreme is the Lord. They would have that ability to discriminate, and demigods will try and, well, they try, but they will do good for the welfare of everybody and others, and whereas the demons, they will only do for themselves. So I suppose there's some differences there. Okay, can we just go up, Prabhu? So yeah, ultimately, life that we all want liberation from. So if life was just to continue and continue, eventually this is what would happen without devotional service, without understanding what is going on. Even if, like, somebody, didn't have any concept of Krishna, they would just continue, and then they would become exhausted, or they would become very, very attached to situations. Then they would grow scared, because then, like we hear that, you have these people, they're very attached to their families, and then they come back as a dog, because they want to protect their family, and they have to live outside, they have to stay outside. And we become exhaustion, like that's just a typical one. Like if you just continue to work or something, or our bodies will become tired, because we don't have a body for enjoyment. And we're very fortunate in the life we have. We're not in this earth, in this world. We haven't got so much happiness that we can forget the Lord, and we haven't got so much suffering that, you know, it's too difficult to remember the Lord. We're in between. So there's Sukh and Dukh, Matra Sparshita Konteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada Agama Paino Nityastam Tatiksha Svabharata. So, you know, the winter and summer seasons, they'll come, ups and downs will come in life. And we have to steer that boat in a steady manner. And so we experience some joy, some sadness. These ups and downs are always there. They come and go. And in this mix, it's easier to remember the Lord. So if we can remember the Lord in the good times, then, you know, and in the bad times, then in all times we remember him. This is in a way, it's a very favorable condition that we can remember him in. Whereas if we went into the hellish planets, we would be under so much suffering that it would be very difficult to remember the Lord. And if we went to the heavenly planets, there would be so much joy and happiness and facility, not joy and happiness maybe, but maybe so much facility, which then can give joy and happiness. And then in that we would forget the Lord also, because it's just so much enjoyment. Whereas here in this situation, it's kind of conducive for spiritual life, because we can remember the Lord at all times, whether it's in happy times or sad times. So this is a really good life to have, and to continue our spiritual journey, so that eventually, in however way we do, we make it back to Godhead, and we don't have to continuously be part of this birth, death, old age and disease cycle. Hare Krishna, I think that's it.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly adding so much of information, nicely explaining on this one. Okay, and okay, so here Prabhupada also just a little bit adding to that your descriptions. So Apavarga, so Pavarga is in the alphabets, it is described Papa Bhabha Ma. So Pa Parishrama, and then Pa Fena. Fena is the foam, and then there is a Fena Nibaha. This is foam pillows and foam beds. It's a Fena. So this is a Parishrama, and then the foam. Whenever we work very hard, the foam comes from the mouth. So generally we see for the horses and animals, when they work hard, so it oozes. And then next one is the Ba. Ba is the bandhar, attachment, entanglement to the material world. And Papa, Bha, Bha. Bha is Bhayam. It is a fearfulness. So this is called, and then Ma is Mrityu. This is Papa, Babha, Ma. This is called Pavarga, these 5 letters. And Krishna is the Apavarga Virya. He would relieve a living entity from all kinds of Pavarga, these 5 kinds of miseries. Parishrama, Pena, Bandha, and Bhaya, and Mrityu. So he is described in one of the Kapil Bhagavan describes that Satam Prasangan Mama Veer Samvido Bhavanti Rutkarna Rasayana Kataha Tajoshanad Apavargavatmani Pavarga Apavarga. Apavarga means opposite to that all. So which means Apavarga means which nullify all these material conditions. Pavarga is Apavargavatmani. And then Shraddha Ratihi Bhakti Anupramishyati. So devotees, Tasyapavargyam Saranam Tava Padamulam Vismarite Krutivida Kathamarta Bhando. Dhruv Maharaj says that Tvam Dhattaya Tvam Dhattaya Parashuddha. This is Achastam Vedam. Tasyapavargham Saranam Tava Padamulam Vismarite Krutivida Kathamarta Bhando. Vismarite Krutivida Kathamarta Bhando. How can any of your devotees will forget about you, my dear Lord? Because Tasyapavargya Saranam Tava Padamulam. This is Apavarga. Tasyapavargya Saranam Tava Padamulam. They wanted to get rid of all this pavargha. So they will never ever forget about you. You will relieve them from all kinds of this pavargha, parishrama, fena, and then bandha, bhaya, and mrityu. These are all material conditions. Okay, this is apavarga. Krishna is called apavargavatmani, apavargavirya. And also here one of the statements again, Prabhupada mentions a specific word, parabhava. So one of the statements by Rishabhadev describes that parabhava. It mentions like parabhavastavad abhoda jato yavane jnasata atmatattvam. Yavat kriyastavad idamano vai karmatmakam yena sarira bandhaha. Karmatmakam yena sarira bandhaha. This is parabhavaha tavat abhoda jata. So, can I request any devotees to read Paritosh Prabhuji? Would you like to read the translation if you are available?
I'm here. Okay, translation. Hare Krishna. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful appears, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, conscience is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept the material body. Brilliant.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So as long as he keep on continuing with karmatmakam, he is the one who is colored with the fruitive activity, karmatmakam, sarira bandhaha. He is entangling that this is my family, Atma Jaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandhushu, Niruda Mula Hridaya Atman Bahumanyite, my children, my wife, my husband, and this is my home, my job. This is karmatmakam, sarira bandhaha. It will entangle one into clothes when we are working in that mode. But though sthanisita srutigatam tanuvan manobhihi, though you are engaging in your duties, but when you are engaging devotional service without changing your day-to-day activities, but you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra following rules and regulations, and then you would not entangle into the material one. Sthanisita sruti gatan tanuvan manobihi, by body, by action, by mind. So when you are engaging yourself hearing to the Krishna Katha, wherever you're situated, so you do not have to go to a different place, going to secluded place or going to some pilgrimages. But here, this is the statements. So here, one of this previous shloka also gives like nonam pramattaha kurte vikarma yadindriya pritaya aprunoti yadindriya pritaya aprunoti na sadhu manye yatatmano ayam asadna pilekeshada asadeha. This is also when you can I request other devotee to read this translation, please? Pavan Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here this word nunam pramattah kurte vikarma. This is nunam pramattah. He is very mad after the acting different kinds of activities, sinful activities forbidden in the scriptures. So yedindriya pritaya aprunoti. Indriya pritaye, all these senses, they will fall down on one day. And gradually when the body grows, the senses, the eyesight will go getting down, hearing capacity will go down, and sense of touch will go down. He cannot speak words properly. His teeth falls down. His tongue will not twist properly. He cannot pronounce properly. Okay, these are all, and he cannot, if he were given a nice sweets, he cannot taste them properly. Gradually, the senses power will be reduced, and we cannot do anything. We will be helpless. Even Vachimanopi na bhrute kalapasha vasham gatah. Even though he wanted to speak, he cannot speak. Kalapasha vasham gatah. In such a way, nonam pramattah kurute vikarma. He spends all of his time just neglecting what is the essential duty. The human body is not for sense gratification, doing the job and then working hard and getting money, feeding the family. It is not only that. The main purpose, and then if we get a leisure time, we just go and sit in front of the TV and watch. So here we are not asked to stop our work. You work with Krishna consciousness. If you have got time, instead of watching TV, you take a Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, read scriptures, sit with devotees and hear Bhagavatam Katha. That is what we to do. We need to do. This is Swadharmacharanam Sekcha Vidharmacha Nivattanam Daiva Labdena Santosha Atmaviccharanachanam. In such a way, one would not be entangled even in that work. At the same time, he is engaging in the Parodharma. That is duty to the Supreme Personality of God. That is Savai Pumsam Parodharmu Yato Bhaktir Adhokshade Adhokshaje Ahituki Apratihita E Atma Suprasidati. Then that person will be completely situated. That is called Apavarga. That is devotional service. So here again, Prabhupada, one more statement mentions that somehow the people, I wanted to merge in the liberation. I wanted to merge Saijya Mukti. So here, Lord does not give any importance to the Saijya Mukti. And many people, after so many austerities, they wanted to merge in the Brahma Jyoti. But Krishna, when he kills them simply, the demons, they also enter into the Brahma Jyoti. So there is one of the pastime like about the liberation. But devotees, it is kind of a losing the individuality of his soul. But Krishna says that that is not possible. Again, Prabhupada gives elaborate description in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. There, natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha. So there, Krishna says that, "O Arjuna, yourself and myself, we are always existing. In the past, now we are existing. In the future also, we would exist. Our individuality will be maintained." Okay, but here, again, entering into the impersonal Brahman, it is a spiritual effulgence. Okay. And then you are just floating within that one, but you do not have any activity. There is no activity, no ananda. Of course, it is ananda is there, but you do not have any activity. And then you will be frustrated after some time. Again, there is a Brahmananda, and also Ananda comes by executing the devotional service. So here, Brahmananda, it is like if it is one point, and then whereas happiness comes from the devotional service, it multiplies Gunarda, it is millions of times. So this is Rupa Goswami says, Brahmananda bhavidyesha chet parardha gunikritaha. Parardha gunikritaha. If you multiply a number of millions of times, then naiti bhakti sukam bhodehe. Naiti bhakti sukam bhodehe. Paramanu tulamapi. So it does not even come to the Paraman of the happiness that one derives from that by executing devotional service. Okay, so much of because there is no varieties in the when you merge yourself into the spiritual effulgence or Brahma or Brahman. But whereas a devotee, he would be able to enter into the Vaikuntha planets and then engage in varieties of activities in a spiritual. And then whereas the person who merges into the Brahma Jyoti, he would not have access to enter into the Vaikuntha planets. So it is like in the Brahman effulgence, there are so many Vaikuntha planets. He would stay in the outside of the planets, outside of the Vaikuntha planets. He cannot enter. Only devotees can enter into there because they have got a relationship, they have got a duty to execute in the Vaikuntha. So there Vasantyatra Purushaha Sarve Vaikuntha Murtayaha Ye Animitta Nimittena Dharmena Aradayan Harim. And they also have got so many of airplanes. They go in the airplanes while executing the devotional service to the Lord and glorify the Lord. Okay, that is the citizens of Vaikuntha. But here, whereas who is merging in the just only impersonal Brahman, they will just float in the merge in the Brahman effulgence. That's all. They do not have further activities. But varieties are so is the mother of enjoyment, Prabhupada mentions, and the Vaikuntha planet, it is variegatedness. Kaivalyam eva murtimat. There in the Vaikuntha planets, all the Kaivalya, the spirit souls, murtimat, they have got persons, their original rupa, surupena mayopetam pasyan swarajyam ruchati. Okay, so that one the devotees get. There are Shuddhaha Samudrushaha Santaha. So these words Santaha Samudrushaha Suddhaha Sarva Bhutanu Ranjanaha Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam Achyuta Priya Bandavaha. Dearest to the Lord, they will only enter into the Vaikuntha planets. Who have got an intimate relationship with the Lord, they will enter into the Vaikuntha planets, not other people. Though one can perform so many austerities and penances. For example, if I have got a good relationship with you, then I will be able to enter into your home. You will receive me and then nicely treat me. But if I don't have any intimate relationship with you, no dear relationship, then you do not allow me into your home at all. Likewise, all the living entities, when they have got the relationship established with the Lord, they will be able to enter into the Vaikuntha planets. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam. Very easily they will enter into the Vaikuntha planet, not otherwise. Okay, so these are the few things to give. When Krishna kills the demons, they will simply enter into the Brahman effulgence, but not enter into the Vaikuntha planets. And whereas Mataji mentioned about the Paundraka, he is very direct to the form of the Lord. He is four-handed form. He used to pretend that I am Vishnu. He has got a manufactured symbols, conch shell, and then a chakra and a lotus and Kaumodiki Gada. So having manufactured and decorating himself nice flower garland, I am thinking because he is very direct to that form of the Lord. And whenever Krishna has seen him and faced in the battle, Krishna laughed looking at him. And then finally he killed him. So because he has been absorbing in that position, and also he was killed by Krishna, he entered into the Vaikuntha planets with the four-handed form, Paundraka. And whereas his friend Kasi Raja, so he was simply killed. So because he did not got any relation, he did not execute any penances or he did not think of even the Lord also, but he was killed. Okay, we don't see about his position. And sometimes when Krishna kills, like in the Gajendra Moksh, he kills a crocodile. At that time, crocodile, he gets the previous position, Gandharva position back. And whereas Indrajumna, he goes back to the Vaikuntha. Okay, so again, different kinds of circumstances. Okay, I also stop there. So just giving few examples of this. And And so here when we explain, there are five kinds of subjects would come when we explain one particular statement. That is, first is the pratigna, what is the statement we are describing. For that, we give the reasons. So here, because Krishna is the Apavardhavirya, he gives that is the reason, and give the examples, whatever Krishna has killed and how he has liberated so many of the conditioned souls. Examples, तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीर याः कृष्णमुखारविन्दं नेत्रे बिभन्तो नयनाभिरामो पादाष्टपुतः पदमापुरस्य. So one of the example, when many of the soldiers are killed in the Kurukshetra battle, by looking at Krishna's beautiful face, they also got liberated. So different examples. Pratigna, Hetu, Udaharana, and then so this is bringing all the topic nearer to the subject. Upanayana, bringing nearer to the subject. It is Upanayana. This, and then fifth one is the Nigamana, showing the evidences from the scriptural point of view. The factual, historical things are preserved in the Puranas, Itihasas. We need to bring out those scriptural evidences. In such a way, the topic will be completely perfect, so that the audience will have got a correct references, examples, and reasons, and the proper explanation. So that's why just including little bit of things here. I also stop there. I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions, kindly ask, or you wanted to share anything, kindly share, or anything striking your mind or you feel to share, kindly do that. So, Hare Krishna. Okay, Jaivet Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm so sorry. Firstly, thank you, Mataji, for explaining beautifully. There were just one or two things I didn't understand. Prabhuji, you just mentioned about demons, and I didn't get that. Are you saying that when the demons are killed, they don't enter Vaikuntha planet, but they get liberated?
Yes.
So, like, I was thinking of like Maricha and Ravan and all those. They were killed by.
Yes.
Even Hiranyakashipu. I thought they were liberated, but liberation doesn't mean automatically they go into Vaikuntha. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
The liberation means, so they will be relieved from the material entanglement. That is called liberation. Liberation, we don't need to leave our material body or just die. While we are living in the body, we are freed from the material entanglement. That is called liberation. Jivan Muktaha. And then after leaving the body, we enter into the spiritual realm, Brahman effulgence, that is Saijamukti. Go further advanced, enter into the spiritual planets. This is Vaikuntha planet. Salokya, Saristi, Samipya, Sarupya, Ekatvam, Apyuta, Deemanam Nagruhnanti Vina, Mat Sevanam Janaha. Salokya is the entering into the planet, and then Saristi, and enjoying the same opulence as the Lord. This is called the Saristi liberation. And then Samipya, devotees who go nearer to the Lord, serving like they're doing the chamaran, fanning, and serving personally. That is Samipya. And then Sarupya, they get the same form as the Lord, same form of the Lord. That is called the Sarupya Mukti. And then this is Sayujya. It is the Sayujya is the Ekatvam, merging into the impersonal Brahman. That is called the Sayujya Mukti. So these are the five kinds of liberations. But when Krishna says in the one of Matsevaya Pritam Te Salokyadi Chatushtayam Nechayanti Sevya Purnaha Kuto Anyat Kala Viplutam, and he mentions, stressing that four of the liberations, Salokyadi Chatushtayam, the four. What are the four? Salokya, Saristi, Samipya, Sarupya, four. Salokyadi Chatushtayam. Deemanam na gruhnanti, nechayanti sevya purnaha, kuto anyat kal viplutam. And everything else, when I give my these four kinds of liberations, if I award to my devotees, they do not take immediately unless they complete the devotional service. Na ichayanti sevya purnaha, kuto anyat kal viplutam. What to speak of anything else? When he says anything else, there within that anything, Saijya Mukti also come into that picture. Kuto net kalu pludam. In due course of time, it will fall down. So that is Lord only stresses that one. That is Brahman effulgence, Sahyajya Mukti. So they will stay there for some time, and then because there is no further activity and engagement, they will fall down. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Paritosh Prabhuji.
No, thank you very much. Brilliant, brilliant. I wish I had come at the beginning. This is a Krishna book, yeah?
This is Nectar of Devotion.
Oh,
It is
Nectar of Devotion. Okay, fine. Thank you. No, I will follow you guys. No, very nice. Thank you. I will send you a personal message and then you can clarify a few things. If I do it here, because I've been on and off doing that. But yeah, thank you very much. No, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Haribo. Thank you. Well done, everybody.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, Gayatri Mataji wanted to ask any questions or anything to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, nothing, Prabhuji. It was beautiful. Thank you, Mataji, for such a wonderful class. And Prabhuji, you elaborated and beautifully said. I just wanted to say something. Javed Mataji was asking, like, Hiranyakashipu and Ravana,
Yes.
did they go to the, like, live in, like, Brahman effulgence? Like, but they are Jaya and Vijaya. So when they are liberated, they are not just going into the right, Prabhuji. They will be going back to the Vaikunta planets
Correct.
where they have to do their job as Jaya and Vijaya.
Yes, yes. They are special. They are not among our ordinary demons.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
They're under directly Lord's supervision. They will go back to Vaikuntha. Now, if you go to the temple, there we see Jaya and Vijaya. Still, they are on duty. Yes.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, that's what I wanted to clarify myself. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Jaya and Vijaya, though Hiranyashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravanasura, Kumbhakarna, they did not carry their sinful activities because they were killed by the Lord. All sinful activities, that nature was completely cleared out. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Pavan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No questions today. It's very clear. Thank you so much, Mataji, for elaborating that for us. And yeah, I can relate few things to real life in terms of having free will, and then we all have chosen this, and we have to accept the fact that it's whatever we are facing now is because of our actions itself, the fruits of our actions. So if that's in our mind, we do always just good. We know that if we do not do good, we know the consequences. So that shows like how we can mold our future. So it's in our hands. We have to chant and do more Krishna consciousness, and then yeah, the future we can at least create our own bright future. So that's overall message I got from this lesson today, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, very nice reflection. Okay, Lalita Mataji, you wanted to ask any questions or add anything, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji, thank you. Well explained. So in detail with examples. So I understood all the points very clear. I had one doubt, but Gayatri Mataji asked that it was clear. Because I too have the same thing in my mind. It was striking, but after that, yeah, it's clear to me. Thank you so much. Well elaborated, Prabhuji. Explained very well. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other thing? Gaurangi Mataji, Usha Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. No, Prabhu. You explained and Mataji explained so nicely. So nothing too much say. Really nice. Thank you.
Mataji. Okay, Javed
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji. I don't have anything, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. It's fine, Mataji. Javed Mataji.
Yeah. Sorry, Prabhuji. I think I'm a little bit thick here. Paragraph, just where it is defeat, exhaustion, bondage, and fearfulness. One thing I didn't understand was that exhaustion that we are talking about. Is it just talking about bodily exhaustion, or is there an ulterior, deeper meaning to that exhaustion?
So this is exhaustion is the kind of a when we sleep, when we go outside and work and then come home, and while we sleep, we wooze, some kind of saliva come from the mouth.
Yes.
Because of the tiredness. This is pena.
Yeah.
The pena is the foam which is found on the mouth when one is very tired, commonly observed with horses. That is exhaustion. We exhibit through that foam.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to understand is it saying that we are getting tired, running, doing things which are of not okay. Yeah.
Yes, this is again in the Brahma's praise, where in the morning Bhagavatam. Ahni apruda ardha karanani sinissayana nana manorada adhya kshanabhagna nidraha. Kshanabhagna nidraha. In such a one gets tired and in the day and night working very hard. Tavad bhayam dravina deha suhur nimittam. Shoka spruha paribho vipulasya lobaha. Tavan mameti asad avagraha atti moolam yavanna tengrim abhayam pravnita lokaha. He is always bhayam, tavad bhayam, until he comes to the lotus feet of the Lord. He always fall under bhayam, tavad bhayam dravina deha suhur nimittam. For all those things. Tomorrow morning that shloka we will go through. The sixth shloka, 396. Okay, so this is all defeat, exhaustion, bondage, fearfulness, loss. These are all pavarga. Until Krishna is apavarga. Once who takes Krishna's consciousness, then all of his miseries will be completely tapatriya unmolinam. With the roots also, it will be eradicated out. That one, it's a practical experience. By speaking itself, we may keep on saying those words, but realizing this one, it is entirely different. Then when we are going through the realization, it gives pain to us. So much of fighting goes between the material comforts and the detachments. And then later on, finally, once we cross that ocean, then if we look back, oh, did I cross this ocean? We feel that. That is realizing that when we are going through struggles, we think that where is Lord? Why I'm going? I'm in Krishna consciousness. So many problems, and then doing so many things, getting tired. But we are crossing that ocean. People who are other side of the ocean, they're enjoying. Okay, this one, once we cross out and look back, then we understand. Of course, we don't look because we always go forward towards the Vaikuntha. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we are a few minutes past. Mataji got dropped. So can I request all devotees do 3 loud Hari Bols to Radha Sevika Mataji, please?
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Radha Sevika Mataji. Hope you might hear. Okay, if you're happy, then we shall move to the next Narsimha prayers. Who would like to lead? And we all follow Narsimha Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Usha Mataji, lead and we all follow. And dear devotees, all unmute and follow Usha Mataji.
You can do please that
Mataji.
Dharmashila mantra Prabhu first.
Sure, Mataji. उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् जय नरसिंह श्रीनरसिंह जय जय श्रीनरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्ममुखपद्मभृङ्गम्
Namaste Narasimhaya.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
Praladayini.
प्रह्लादरायिनि
Hiranyakashipurvaksham. Shrilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito
नरसिंह
Narasimha
परतो
Parato
नरसिंह
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha.
येतो येतो यामिततो नरसिंह
Narasimha
Pahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha.
Narasimha Hridaye
नरसिंह
Narasimha
Narsimha Madhim Sharanam Prapade.
नरसिंहमदिं
Sharanam
शरणं प्रपद्ये
Prabhadye
Tava Karakamala Adhuta Sringa Dalita Dalikashipu Tanu Vrindan Ishwadrita Narupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare.
तव कर कमल वरे
Kamalavare
नाथम्
Natham
अद्भुत
Adbhuta
शृङ्गार
Shringa Lita
दलिताय
Hiranyakasipu Tanubhringa Keshavadrita
नरहरिरूपा
Narirupa
जय
Jaya
जगदीश
Jagadisha
हरे
Hare
जय
Jaya
जगदीश
Jagadisha
हरे
Hare
जय
Jaya
जगदीश
Jagadisha Hare
हरे
Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare.
केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूपा
Nararirupa
जय जगदीश
Jagadisha
हरे
Hare
जय जगदीश
Jagadish
हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Hare
Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya
जय नरसिंहदेव जय
Nrsimhadev
नरसिंहदेव जय
Nrsimhadev
नरसिंहदेव जय
Nrsimhadev Jaya
नरसिंहदेव
Nrsimhadev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya
Jaya
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj,
Maharaj,
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj,
Maharaj,
Jaya
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada,
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 Jaya Jaya
Jaya.
Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaurang Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaurang Hari Bol.
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaurang
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura
Nitai
Hari
Gaurang
Bol.
Hari Bol.
जय श्री श्री नृसिंहदेव भगवान की,
Jai,
Jai.
भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की,
Jai,
जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की,
Jai.
निताई गौ प्रेमानंदे,
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
अनंत कोटि विश्ववृंद की,
Jai,
Jai.
और गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की।
Jai. Usha Mataji ki Hari
Jai.
Bol.
Jai.
Hari Bol.
Jai, Hari
Happy
Bol.
work for devotees, Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for kindly participating. Okay, we shall conclude our session. See you tomorrow morning for Japa session at 5:30 a.m. And Pawan Prabhuji and Paritosh Prabhuji, see you tomorrow morning for Japa session at 5:30 a.m.
Lord Prabhuji,
Okay, thank you so much. Vancha kalpataru.
Manchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya Eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Antakoti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.